child testing confirmed that the swimming children were performing significantly better on many of those measures.
There's been lots of studies on the benefits.
We've looked at is their cognitive ability, so their reading, writing, their thinking skills, their behaviour, their social and emotional well-being as well. So it's covered a lot more than we would normally expect other studies to have done, such as their physical skills and their physical well-being.
So this is the first study that does
cognitive skills, social well-being, social emotional development, language development, as well as the physical, yes. Initially, never expecting to see the results that we've got.
What do you think it is about swimming that helps?
We've done, as I said, we've been to a lot of swim schools and we've observed a lot of lessons. When you look at quality lessons, what you see, and I think we can explain the 15-month development of following directions. If you think about a swim school, the teacher will be there and the teacher will say, sit down, and wait for the children to sit down. Now look at me, let's do. So they're very clear about their instructions with the children, which makes sense because if the kids don't follow instructions, they may fall into the pool and either become scared of the water or drown. So there's a bigger priority about making very clear directions, following directions, and making sure the kids are really listening to what the teachers are saying. We also found that there's things like the teachers will teach counting. Now we know the kids will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, but they're not really counting, they're just saying a word pattern. What we find in swimming is the teachers will say, kick, do a 10 kick. So each time the child kicks, they count. So they're associating a kick with a count, which is a very advanced form of counting, and these kids are doing it very young. We found kids are starting lessons at 6 months old and they're already being cued. So when the teacher says 1, 2, 3, ready, the child's already blinking because they know when the ready happens, they're going to be submerged. So even at 6 months old, they're hearing the words 1, 2, 3, developing a schema to know that they're going to have to do something because they're going to get dunked under the water. And they know it. So as young as 6 months old, which we often think kids don't have a strong repertoire of language, the kids already know 1, 2, 3 and are getting prepared to be submerged.
What are some of the major results of this survey?
Well, if we look at the survey results, what we've found, on average, the children are 7 months ahead of the normal population on their motor development or their motor skills. They're 10 months ahead in the area of cognition, so that's the way they're thinking and things about writing and mathematics, those sorts of things. And they're also about 15 months ahead on their social emotional development. Now we know that that's a survey and parents might be prone to a little bit of boasting about their children. So then what we've done is we've tested 177 kids or 176 kids and we've compared that information with the other. Now what we've found from that was that when we looked at their physical development, there was 5 domains of physical development. These children performed in 4 of those significantly better than the normal population. And when we looked at things like in their physical development, they were often 7 months ahead of the normal population. So that's very similar to the survey data as well. So that confirmed that parents probably weren't overestimating as much as we originally thought. When we looked at cognition though, so the way the kids' thinking patterns, we found that they were on average, so we're looking at children in the testing from 3 to 5 years old, they were 10 months ahead on their oral language, so that the way they talked about things. They were 11 months ahead in their oral expression, so the way they expressed themselves. They were about 3 months ahead on their writing skills, so how they could draw circles and write letters and those sorts of things. But they were about 6.5 months ahead in their mathematical reasoning. So a lot of gains. If you're talking about a 3-year-old child to be 6 months ahead, that's a sixth of their life that they're ahead. But what really was a significant finding for us was that they were 15 months ahead in understanding directions. So, and we found that these results are fairly consistent regardless of the social background of the child.